Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Orfalea College of Business Perspective Preview Day for um, students interested in applying to Cal Poly. We'll just go ahead and get started with the presentation that we have for you. So welcome again. We're so excited to have you. It's very unfortunate that you can't visit Cal Poly in person, but we're so grateful to have all 100 of you on here listening to how great Cal Poly is. And I'm so excited to share that with all of you today. So just before we get started, just some housekeeping items with the Zoom webinar. So all attendees are automatically muted and cameras are turned off because this is a Zoom webinar, and the presentation is being recorded. So it will be posted on YouTube at CP Slow Admissions. So you don't have to worry about that if you want to revisit some questions or any parts of the presentation. And if you have any questions, we will have a Q&A panel with some other Orfalea College of Business students. You can use the Q&A function on Zoom and we'll just filter through those questions. We have our associate dean here and he will be leading that panel. So we'll definitely make sure that we answer all the questions that you have. But with that being said, let's just go and get started. So welcome again to the Orfalea College of Business. I'm biased, but I think the best college within Cal Poly. So we'll just do a little intro of who we are, who's on this call. So just a little bit about me. My name is Miriam Abdo, pronouns she, her, hers. I am the current president of the Student Ambassador Program for the College of Business. I'm a senior, so kind of crazy that my Cal Poly journey is coming to an end, but have loved every second of it. I'm concentrating in information systems and I'm minoring in sales. And we'll get into kind of the concentrations and the minors that we have. We also have Ronan on the call. He will be doing the presentation with me. Ronan, if you just want to go ahead and introduce yourself as well.
Yeah, hi everybody. I'm Ronan O'Donovan. I'm a sophomore business administration student. I'm concentrating in finance and I'm minoring in law and society.
Awesome. And then do we want to have our panelists introduce themselves as well, starting with our associate dean?
Well, hello and welcome. My name is Stern Neal. I'm Associate Dean for the Orfalea College of Business, also a marketing professor, been here for about 12 years, and also the chair of marketing. So we're excited about always beginning anew each year. And so it's great that we have our students to share with you and welcome. Max.
Hey everyone, I'm Max. As you can see, I am a business administration student. I am now a senior. So like Miriam, my Cal Poly journey is coming to an end, which is so sad. But as of right now, I am planning on concentrating in quantitative analysis, and I have a minor in statistics, and not listed there, I'm also minoring in religious studies.
Hi everyone, my name is Jamie. It's so great to meet all of you over our virtual call here. I'm also a fourth year. I'm an econ student. I'm concentrating in marketing and I have a minor in environmental studies. I'm also from Seattle, Washington, so out-of-state students represent. Yeah, I'm excited to get to chat with you all today.
And my name is Max Callan. I am also a second year business administration student like Ronan. And I'm concentrating in finance as well with a minor in history. So I'm very excited to meet all of you and answer some questions today.
Good afternoon, everyone. So nice to meet you. My name is Zoe. I am a junior business administration student concentrating in finance with a minor in psychology. I'm so excited to share with you all a little bit more about OCOB, and I hope you all enjoy.
Awesome. Thank you so much, panelists. We'll just go ahead and get started with a little bit of what the college is and really what is Orfalea. So I'll pass it over to Ronan.
Yeah, so hi everybody. I'm just going to talk a little bit about kind of what OCOB is. So we prepare career-ready business leaders through hands-on discovery and dedicated mentorship. We have small class sizes and faculty that are dedicated to student success. Experiential learning is embedded across the curriculum. We have a strong alumni network with members worldwide, which allows you to build valuable relationships with established professionals who are eager to mentor and make connections. And graduates are prepared to excel in a variety of business roles and industries. Yeah, so there's a lot of different things. It's hard to encompass it in kind of one slide, but these are kind of some of the main points that kind of make up OCOB and kind of make it what it is.
Awesome. And then just some statistics for the College of Business. We have just under 2,900 students within the college. So we're the fourth largest college within the Cal Poly campus. Our acceptance rate is about 28%, and that's based on our 2019 numbers. This is one of my favorite stats. We're ranked 8th in the nation for best return on investment. So that's a stat that we love to showcase because you really get your most bang for your buck for your education. It really carries you so far, not just with what you learn, but also in the professional world. And our graduation rate is 89%, and that's our 5-year graduation rate, and it's actually highest in the CSU system. So that's compared to SDSU, CSUN, can't remember the rest of the Cal States at the moment, but yeah, so highest in the CSU system. So we're really proud of that.
Yeah, so in OCOB, we have 3 different majors: business administration, economics, and industrial technology and packaging. And then over your time at OCOB, you'll pick a concentration. Some of these concentrations are accounting, finance, marketing, information systems, entrepreneurship, consumer packaging, quantitative analysis, real estate finance, and management and HR. So kind of at the start of your college career, you'll have an intro class in most of the concentrations. And then over time, you'll kind of pick one to specialize in. That's where you'll take a lot of your upper division electives. So I'm concentrating in finance. So once I get into my 3rd, 4th year, I'll be taking a lot of the higher level finance classes.
And the great thing about these classes, as Ronan touched on, is your first 2 years, you are taking those intro classes. So you get a taste of all these different concentrations before you have to declare at the end of your 2nd year. And so here's a video just showcasing the Orfalea student experience from our students. So I'll just go ahead and play.
My name is Nicole Thornton. I'm a 2nd year information systems student here in the College of Business.
Hi, my name is Max Callan and I'm a 1st year business student.
Hi, my name is Adam Cherney and I'm a 3rd year business student concentrating in finance.
Hi, my name is Shiv and I'm a 4th year concentrating in information systems. When asked what the College of Business means to me, the first word that really came into mind is home. This is a place where I found my best friends, my future coworkers, my future roommates.
Students are not pitted against one another in the classroom. Rather, they are motivated and incentivized to work together to not only be their best, but also help others alongside them succeed.
No matter what you're interested in or when you need the support, there will always be someone there to help you and be your biggest cheerleader.
To me, OCOB is unique because of the resources it provides for its students. We make sure that you're successful not just at your time here, but post-graduation as well.
With the help of my peer mentor Vince, I explored a lot of things I wasn't expecting to my 1st year. I looked into studying abroad, I applied for positions like peer advising and ambassadors, and I also got help looking for internships and doing mock interviews.
I have found a community within this college and I'm so grateful I picked Cal Poly.
What I think makes OCOB really special is the dedication in terms of alumni. The alumni we have are not only successful, but they're down-to-earth, humble people. They love their experience at OCOB and at Cal Poly, and they really want to help students succeed.
OCOB has also provided me with a dynamic environment for learning and a support system where I can lean on my peers and professors for any comfort.
Something that differentiates Cal Poly from other schools is our learn by doing philosophy. As an industrial technology and packaging major, I feel like I've had learn by doing integrated into almost every class I've taken throughout my time in the College of Business.
OCOB has provided me a home for my own self-discovery, where I can mold who I am and who I want to be.
To me, the Orfalea College of Business means opportunity. The opportunity to get involved, the opportunity to learn by doing, and the opportunity to make friends of a lifetime. For me, I've had all of these opportunities and more at the Orfalea College of Business, and I know that you will too.
I don't know about you all, but that video just gives me chills. And everything said in there is definitely from the words of our students. They were so excited to make this video, and we really created it so that we could showcase as much of the learn by doing and the student experience as we could. So speaking of learn by doing, we talk about it so much. What is learn by doing? So learn by doing is the philosophy that Cal Poly has as a whole, to give students the learning in the classroom, but with hands-on experiences. So specifically for me, as an IS concentration, in one of my classes, my system analysis and design class, Business 394, I actually did an IT management project, and I actually work within the College of Business in the Career Readiness Center, where I help students with cover letters, resumes, mock interviews, and it's dedicated just to the College of Business. And through this class, we decided to pick the Career Readiness Center and create a whole project around how to streamline the check-in process when students come in for appointments and things like that, and create a whole new system. So me and 3 other students worked together. I think we spent probably more than 40 hours collaborating, using the curriculum that we learned within our class to create a new management system for the Career Readiness Center. And we actually got to present it, which was an amazing experience. And just one of the many examples that I have of learn by doing in my college curriculum. And I'll pass it over to Ronan.
Perfect. So even though I'm only a sophomore, I got to have my real kind of first learn by doing experience in the spring quarter of my freshman year. This is in my Biz 346 class, and we made a product and we had to market it. So we developed the product, we created a marketing plan, analyzed our competitors, what we needed to do, what we needed to improve, what market we wanted to be in. And then, yeah, this is our product on the right. It's our wallet. This is a kind of like right at the beginning of the coronavirus. So Swipe is a antimicrobial wallet that kind of protects all your kind of things that you keep inside your wallet, and it uses antimicrobial fabrics to desanitize it. And that was the basis of our kind of project. We spent half of our time in class learning and lectures, and the other half of the class was building this project. And this product, we had a whole about 40-page, I think, marketing strategy. And then at the end of it, we were able to deliver like a Shark Tank kind of like pitch, which I really enjoyed because I watched Shark Tank a lot when I was younger. And it was really nice to kind of do something that I guess you could say it's like a dream of mine, or one of the dreams of mine, that I was able to do something like that. And it was just a really, really great experience. I was able to learn a lot because it was so hands-on.
Awesome. And in addition to obviously our classes that all incorporate learn by doing, every student within Cal Poly has to complete a senior project. So this just can encapsulate your 4 years of learning, whether it pertains to your concentration or something that you're interested in. So these are just some of the examples of learn by doing opportunities and or senior projects. So VITA Portfolio Project, which is our Volunteer Income Tax Association, is a group of students that volunteer every Saturday for a whole quarter, filing tax returns for low-income families in the SLO community. So they actually get hands-on experience, filing tax returns and also helping the community out at the same time. We also have our Senior Management Portfolio Project, and this is primarily for our finance students. So they actually get $500,000 of real money from our endowment fund that they actually get to invest in the stock market. And one story that we always love to tell on our tours is in 2007, 2008, our finance students actually predicted the stock market crash and pulled out all of our money. So we did not lose a single penny in the 08 crash. So our finance students always beat our returns. So we are really proud of them. And it's really awesome learn by doing experience as a senior project. We also have the Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. So if any of you prospective students out there are really interested in making your own business or have an amazing idea that you want to pursue, you do have that opportunity within Cal Poly. So we do have a dedicated center for really making sure that your ideas can come to life. And then also we have a hot house, which is located in our downtown San Luis Obispo area, and you can get real investment funding as well as mentors to really kickstart your experience within entrepreneurship. We also hold case competitions. We'll also play a video kind of explaining some of our case competitions as well, but a lot of companies love to engage with our Cal Poly students and give them problems to solve, and they can work together on teams. We have Goldman Sachs come in, Point B Consulting, and they'll come in with these different cases and work with students. So students can also get hands-on opportunity as well as the opportunity to network with some amazing companies.
And then once you leave OCOB or leave it for the summer, there's a huge amount of internship opportunities. OCOB students kind of work everywhere and everywhere. But these are just a few examples of them: Adobe, Amazon, PwC, Workday, Target, Oracle, Apple, Deloitte, EY, Cisco, Microsoft, KPMG, and Protiviti. But there's so many different opportunities, and Cal Poly helps you out so much getting your internships. And our alumni network is definitely an amazing tool to utilize. They're always super willing to help, super willing to chat, and just super willing to make sure you have the best possible opportunity to help further yourself and your career.
Awesome. And so one philosophy we have here is every student who comes through Cal Poly, by the time they graduate, we want them ready day one. So what does that mean? Really, ready day one is ensuring that Cal Poly students, when they leave the nest of Orfalea, that they are prepared for whatever may incur in their work experience. This is just an example of some of the many successful alumni that we have from the College of Business. Gary Erickson, founder of Cliff Bar; Chuck Templeton, founder of Open Table, is now part of a venture capital firm; Tammy Kiley, she's a partner at Goldman Sachs; Scott Edwards, founder for his own startup Dropwater. So this is just a small sliver of many Cal Poly alumni who are very successful and love to give back and provide students with opportunities to network as well as grow their professionalism as well. So we just have a video here from one of the alumni that I had mentioned on the last slide, Tammy Kiley. So I'll just go ahead and play this video.
Tammy Kiley represents the best of our alumni in terms of her success in her profession. She's really the top of her profession as a partner at Goldman Sachs.
So working for Goldman Sachs has been quite a journey. I've been at the company now for 20 years. In my job, if you're not incredibly busy, you're not having fun. I help companies with mergers and acquisitions, so they may be wanting to buy another company or sell a division. Back in 2014, 2015, with Arm Holdings, which is a UK-based provider of intellectual property, they were sold to SoftBank, and that was about a $32 billion deal, but that was really fun to work on.
Tammy's probably the leading investment banker in the semiconductor industry in the world. A very tough industry, and has been instrumental in the success of a lot of companies. She just has a boundless, amazing energy. She's fearless. And she's raised two wonderful boys at the same time, too. And she's got a wonderful husband, Tom. But she finds time to give back.
I get a lot out of being back in this community. I get energized by the students. I love their curiosity. I'd like to think the students get a lot out of it, but I get a lot out of it, too. That makes it really easy to keep coming back. The 4 years I spent in San Luis Obispo at Cal Poly were some of the best years of my life. Just fabulous professors who really taught me and gave me the skills that I needed to get that first job out of college. Me and my husband, when I was 20 years old, meeting him.
He's a great role model for our students. And she's lived into that, coming down here many times and speaking in classes. Which in its first year maybe had 25 students, 100 students were participating this last year, and it's really helped to create a lot of interest in investment banking among our students.
I'm really delighted that we now have 7 students doing full-time in banking from 0 3 years ago.
She's been super generous in supporting our new building student center project. Very generous.
I like doing what I do here because I get a lot out of it, and I don't want accolades for it. So I'm honored, but also this award is not what it's about for me.
This is an amazing institution, and in many different ways, and the kinds of students that we help in their careers who end up being people like Tammy Kiley, who are at the top of their professions, it just gives you so much pride in this institution. It feels wonderful to be able to honor her.
Yeah, so I mean, that was just a great video, kind of letting you guys know and see kind of who are some of our premier alumni, and Tammy's awesome. Everything she's done for the school has been great. But yeah, so I'm going to kind of talk about our career opportunities a little bit. So our graduates go on to careers in accounting, law, management, marketing, entrepreneurship, government agencies, teaching, financial services, corporate finance, real estate, manufacturing, technology, human resources, consulting, and more. As you can see, that's a lot of different careers, and there definitely is a lot more too. OCOB just gives you a really, really good base to kind of go wherever you want with what you've learned. And it's just a really awesome opportunity to go here and then be able to kind of go out into your career and see what you can do with everything you've learned. So then our Biz 206 is a career readiness class. I took it my spring quarter of last year, and it just helps you get ready for your career, your internships. They help us create a resume, create a LinkedIn profile, prepare for interviews, everything and anything we needed. They did that. They taught us that. And then we have a dedicated career readiness center, and we are the one college on campus with a career readiness center that's dedicated just to us. They're awesome. They're amazing. They kind of do anything and everything that has to do with careers and internships and helping you out. They just provide so much workshops and anything. They're amazing. I couldn't say anything better about them.
Awesome. And then just some resources in case you want to engage with the College of Business further. That is our website. It has everything on there, from our student services to resources to majors to professors. And you can also sign up for an information session with an OCOB ambassador. So like myself, Ronan, as well as the other panelists on this call. So if you supporters or prospective students want to chat one-on-one with a student who goes to Cal Poly, you are more than welcome to do that. So follow OCOB as well on all of our social media platforms. And with that, I will pass it over to our Associate Dean, Stern Neal.
Thank you, Miriam, and thank you, Ronan. Do appreciate you introducing us all. And it's mediated. You can see the buildings, behind us, but I think the students, are clearly what we're about and learn by doing. And so at least allowing you this opportunity to talk to them or to hear about their experiences is something that I hope gives you a glimpse of what Cal Poly is all about. Clearly, we love this school and the experiences that it provides to us all. We have 4 panelists joining us, 4 student panelists. I'll ask each of them to introduce themselves, and then we'll go through a few questions and have them share some of what it's like to be a Cal Poly Orfalea College of Business students. So student Max, you want to just introduce your name and concentration? We did earlier, but just to reintroduce yourself.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you. And hello, everyone. Apologies for not having my camera on earlier. I'm still figuring out this learn by Zooming stuff. But I am Max. Like I said, I'm a 4th year business administration student concentrating in quantitative analysis, and I'm minoring in statistics and religious studies. On campus, I'm a part of Delta Sigma Pi, a co-ed professional business fraternity, which I've held a leadership role as the Vice President of Finance, and I'm currently the Vice President of Visitor Experience here at the Orfalea College of Business Student Ambassadors. I'm currently job hunting, so I can't say that I'm locked down to anything for the future, but in the past, I've had the opportunity to work for the Microsoft Corporation in Redmond, Washington, as well as for a startup in the Czech Republic, which count as my abroad experience and that I continue to work with for a couple months once I returned home.
Excellent. Zoe?
Hi, everyone. My name is Zoe. I am a 3rd year concentrating in finance with a minor in psychology. On campus, I am a student ambassador, and I'm actually the Vice President of Outreach for this group this year, which is really exciting. I'm also a peer mentor for the College of Business, and I'm involved in Women in Business. I was a WOW leader, which is our orientation program, and I'm also involved in Jewish life on campus. I have an internship scheduled for next summer with Apple and their finance development program. And I'm really looking forward to starting my journey there, learning more about finance and really getting involved in Apple and all that they have to offer.
Excellent. Max, other Max.
Hi, yeah, the second Max on the call. I'm also a second year business administration major with a concentration in finance, as well as a minor in history and a pending minor in recreation, parks, and tourism administration. And within Cal Poly, within OCOB, I am a peer advisor and ambassador, as well as involved in certain clubs such as the Investment Banking Society and the Financial Management Association. And as of the summer, I don't have anything currently yet, but I'm going for an internship with the Golden State Warriors or one of the Bay Area sports teams, which kind of open up in February. So hopefully I'll have an update on that soon.
Excellent. Jamie.
Hi everyone, I'm Jamie. I'm a fourth year econ major, marketing concentration, and I have a minor in environmental studies. I'm part of student ambassadors. I serve as the VP of group development, so I'm really excited for that this year. I'm also involved in Women in Business on campus and Cal Poly Economic Society. Yeah.
Very good. So we have been getting some questions in the Q&A, which inform our discussion. So do feel free. We're trying to answer those as best as we can, sort of multitasking. But we have our 4 students here. And so would one of you or 2 of you or so share, like, why did you choose Cal Poly?
Yeah, I'd be happy to start with that one. When I was applying to school, so I'm from the Bay Area, San Jose, and I was like, set on going out of state for college because I wanted to, experience snow and do all that kind of stuff. But when I came to Cal Poly and I toured, it was just like a beautiful sunny day. And I like stepped off the tour bus because my high school had taken me down, and I stepped off the tour bus and I just like felt such a positive energy. Students were talking together, on the lawn. Students were studying outside. Students were, grouped together and meeting at tables and eating together and doing all these things. And I think when I envisioned my life in college, that was really something that I was looking for. I wanted the campus environment to be something that was really exciting and really welcoming and encouraging. And obviously things look different now with, not as many students on campus, but I think something that is true to Cal Poly no matter what is just like how supportive the students are of one another. When you see anybody off campus or you run into somebody, people are just so excited to see you. And so that environment has just been really good for me. I think also the other piece to it is Cal Poly is primarily a teaching university. And so the professors are there to teach and they do research and they have all those opportunities as well. But something that, you go to the classroom and the professors are there teaching. It's not the TAs, it's not grad students. And so that was something that I was also really looking for when choosing a school.
Yeah, I can add on a little bit to that. Zoe did such a fantastic job summarizing a lot of what I was going to say, so I won't repeat that. But as far as like how I got to Cal Poly, I'd like to say it was a bit serendipitous. My mom's actually alum, but she chose to really withhold a lot of information from me to help me get a really like objective perspective on the schools. And Cal Poly was actually the only school for me that wasn't like a smaller private institution. So it was an outlier in my list of schools. And upon touring it and kind of getting a vibe of the campus, the opportunities, the people that were available to me, I really, 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 and I still feel this way to this day, I really feel like I picked the best choice for going to a big school with a small school vibe and small school resources, especially within the College of Business. So while like I said, I think that was a little serendipitous, part of actually why I'm here and my role and why I love talking about Cal Poly is because I want to help everyone get more informed and help them feel comfortable about making that decision and taking that leap like I did to kind of get out of their comfort zone. And once you really find your niche and find those people that are willing to support you, and hopefully you can get that vibe from the videos we've been presenting and the panel that Miriam presented as well. Oh, excuse me, the presentation. It really was just the best decision for me. Absolutely.
And I must say, I talked to alumni and I talked to executives, and they love Cal Poly. That's a strong, strong affinity, and they like that learn by doing, because it's not just a textbook definition. When I asked executives, they like that initiative and the fact that you all can not only define it, you can do it. So, but you did, both of you, Zoe and Max, talked a little bit about the culture, kind of the vibe and the feel. So, anyone else describe the culture of, within the Orfalea College of Business?
Yeah, I think I can speak on the culture for OCOB. I came into Cal Poly kind of unsure about what I was going to get within the Orfalea College of Business. The only experience I had previous was the tour, and that kind of like drew me in and sealed it for me. But once I got to Cal Poly, I was expecting it to be kind of like I heard some of my other friends' schools were, where it was like competitive and everyone was fighting to get A's in their classes against other students. And I kind of had the complete opposite experience. Everyone was trying to help me out with classes. Everyone wanted to study outside as well. And there's no kind of limitation on the amount of A's that a class can have. So that makes it a lot easier to collaborate with students and not really compete against them as well. And even once I applied for my positions that I went out for, even through the interview process, everyone was supportive. No one, it didn't feel like a competition. I think that can't be like stressed enough. And even with Cal Poly, the alumni too, I've cold messaged people on LinkedIn just to try to set up informational interviews with them. And I've had a really high response rate from that. And that kind of surprised me. I was expecting to be ignored. And almost every time I've gotten a response and been able to set up a phone call with people whose careers I've been interested in. And I think that all just comes back to the culture of Cal Poly and how welcoming it is.
That's right. I mean, and career readiness is central to our mission. It's really kind of how we design programs and the experience for students. And so how, among our panelists, how do you believe that the Orfalea College of Business has prepared you for your career? Kind of what resources, how do we support that?
I'd be happy to start with that one. I think the first thing, so I'm concentrating in finance, but I didn't know really what I wanted to concentrate in, starting my freshman year. So it was really helpful to have all of my intro classes where I was really able to, try out all the different classes and get a really like general view of business because there are so many different departments and things that you might see once you enter the real world. And so that was really great because I got to see so many different things and I got to experience, different pieces. And all of my professors really brought in real world examples in my classes. And so it really didn't feel like we were just studying from the textbook. It felt like we were, talking about what we would see in our future and how that would, how what we were learning in the textbook would translate directly to what we might be doing in the future. And that was really helpful just to be able to see what we could do with that. I think also the College of Business really focuses on group projects. And I think especially in business, that's a huge thing. You're always put on a team and you're always working with new people and, doing different things. And so I've learned how to work with people who might be more difficult, but I've also learned how to work with people who, really supplement my working style well. And so I've learned a lot about myself from those experiences and what I need to do to succeed like individually and as a team. And so I've definitely learned a lot in all those different places.
Yeah, I can add on to what Zoe was talking about. So another really cool thing about the College of Business is that we have a lot of different clubs within the college, which are often tied to your concentration. So we have American Marketing Association, Cal Poly Accounting Club, and oftentimes a lot of those organizations will host career fairs where they can connect you directly to firms that are looking for people in that concentration. And it's just great experience getting to talk to people in the industry, getting to meet with recruiters and just building those interview skills and career fair skills, because it is a very unique situation to be at a career fair. It can be very intimidating. So having those avenues to practice has led to successful internships. And I just think that's a really great thing that we have. And those clubs can also help connect you to alumni. You can learn a lot more about concentration. So I think that has prepared me well. Also, there's a focus on the importance of internships in a lot of classes. So I've had professors, if they ever hear of an internship opportunity, will email the class and say, hey, I know of someone who's looking for a marketing intern, you should apply, which I think is really unique and really helpful. You really feel the culture of support through your peers and your professors. Yeah, and like Zoe was saying, there's a focus on real world examples in class. A lot of our faculty has experience in the industry, so it's really interesting hearing about their different experiences and what they've learned being in the field that you are about to enter. And a lot of the activities that we have in class are directly applicable to what we'll be doing in the real world in our jobs. So yeah, that's been really helpful for me as a student.
Very good. You might have gotten an email from me about an internship, right, in marketing. But yeah, bringing industry into the classroom and getting the classroom out in industry is certainly learn by doing. It's experiential learning, and that's really much, again, foundational to our vision of what we think a college, a business, and economics and industrial technology and packaging, the whole suite that we offer to our students. Thank you, so Jamie. How about leadership experience? That's something also that's key to our mission, and also something that employers look for, is that an initiative and ability to lead. So how have you gained leadership skills through your Orfalea involvement? What ways have you been involved with the school?
Yeah, I'll take this one. I think a lot of it kind of comes down to just getting involved early and often and just putting yourself out there. And my first 2 weeks at Cal Poly, I applied to become the peer mentor program. And so I was actually a mentee. So I was paired with a fourth year business student. And so I think that was really helpful in just kind of learning what the college is like and developing those skills that would be valuable later, when in the winter time, I ended up applying to become both a peer advisor and ambassador. And so I think that just being resourceful and having those skills can get you anywhere within the college. It's just saying yes to things that's so important. And also, like, even right now, I'm not a big public speaker, but even we have to take a class, public speaking, and it really just helps with becoming more open and being able to just put yourself out there. And then also just showing up to club meetings, even within the virtual environment. I know almost every club is still active every week, and that gives you a lot of opportunities as well, like the case competition, as you might have seen in the video, where students can really participate and get that learned by doing philosophy and gain valuable experience. So then when it comes time to become a leader within your job and your career, you already have those skills set out for you.
Yeah, I can add on a little bit to that too, as far as leadership goes. I think I can attribute pretty much most to all of my leadership development and confidence as a student, as a professional, as a person, to the feeling of being comfortable and be able to be authentic in the leadership roles, in the roles that the Orfalea College of Business provided for me. So I mentioned previously in my introduction that I'm a part of a co-ed professional business fraternity where I was the vice president of finance. And that was a tangible leadership role that I was able to actually manage the ins and outs of much more money than I'm familiar with. And that was something I could do hands-on, surrounded by people that supported me, that I learned a lot about how to manage that, how to gauge feedback, how to most efficiently delegate tasks. And that gave me the confidence even further to pursue a role like the role I'm in now in my vice president of visitor experience for the student ambassadors, where the work that we do has a tangible effect on the community. And we really just want to make sure that the prospective students know that we're there for them. So it's really cool to be able to feel like I can be authentically myself in the roles that I've been placed in. And from that, I feel like that's how you really grow as a person. So I can attribute all of that to, I can't imagine what I'd be like today without it.
Yeah, and those co-curricular experiences, I think, are key to your overall educational experience. I mean, students will say, we've surveyed them, talked to them, that some of the most impactful learning they have, it's not just in the classroom, it's actually in these kind of co-curricular. And not only are you building community and able to apply some of what you're learning and helping to differentiate yourself in the kind of activities, but it's about being engaged, and it's not just in your studies, but it's also in the larger community. And so we're proud of our students, and they make us look good. I mean, and the kind of competitions they win, the awards they get, they're very active, and it's just a great time for us to also interact outside the classroom as well. So. Are there any other learn by doing opportunities? I don't know if you all want me to cold call, but any sort of meaningful experiences that you've had. I mean, we've talked about learn by doing throughout the presentation, but are there any other additional projects that come to mind? Or
I can take that really quick. So part of my curriculum was to take Business 392, which was application development. That was for my major. And I guess I had this head because I was communicating to some of my friends in some larger universities, and they were like, hey, Max, I'm learning to code. I'm reading out of a book all the time. I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't know how to practice this. I don't really know how to incorporate this into a setting that I can see myself doing it in. And in that class, we were actually assigned to make a replica of some sort of popular game. So I learned how to code in Java Connect 4, which was something probably not as like, I wish I could kind of take that with me wherever I went, but that was something I got to actually apply the code that I was learning. And I get my hands dirty and practicing something instead of feeling like, I'm getting lectured at saying like, this is, what you should do to learn how to learn code. This is me actually learning to code. So that was definitely probably one of my most memorable experiences. And I still bring that up a ton as far as interviews experiences, and at least in my interviews, and people really appreciate that.
I can share an example too. In the winter, I had the pleasure of taking a class with Professor Neil. And in that class, it was a marketing class called Listening to the Customer. And we were able to work directly with a client called Yoconut, based in San Francisco, which is a dairy-free yogurt company. And our project for the entire quarter was a group project. And we were creating a marketing plan for them, focusing on their branding and messaging to consumers. So we were able to create surveys and questionnaires for our target groups to fill out so we could get more information on what their target consumer base looked like. So that was just a really great way to gain direct marketing experience. We were able to meet with our client directly as well over Zoom, which was just a great true learn by doing example, having to meet with the client, present your findings, ask them questions, and also get their feedback. So I loved having that experience, and it was just a great opportunity to learn more about marketing in that way too.
And you did a wonderful job, Jamie. She helped lead the focus groups that we did, and the client we interact with throughout the quarter. And so it's not just a present at the end, which you've got, it's at the beginning and middle and end. So I think learn by doing isn't just about in the moment. It's about the planning you do. It's about the actions you take in that moment, which may include some improvisation, but it's the learning that you take away, the reflection that comes from that. But as faculty, I mean, we come here for learn by doing. That's what got me interested in Cal Poly. That's what got me here. And it's important that those student relationships we know are some of also the most impactful learning experiences. I mean, studies that are done that talk about that professor-student interaction being key to learning. And so we're there in our offices. She said we're there in the classroom. My favorite moments are actually like in the listening to the customer. I have a team at a table and I'm down at the table with them, and we're trying to work through a tough problem together to come up with some ideas and what can we do next. So I'd like to thank our panel. We have what is a favorite class? Okay, we couldn't promote listening to the customer enough. Zoe, what's your favorite class?
Yeah, so winter quarter this year, so from January to March, I took Intro to Corporate Finance with Professor Larry Gorman, which is known to be a pretty difficult class, but I went in and was really excited just to learn more about finance and just to see, if it was something I would be interested in. And we started pretty much right away learning very applicable things. So we learned like how to save for retirement, how to look at a mortgage, how to look at a car loan, how to fairly price a stock. All of these things that every time I learned something new in the class, I would tell my friends or I would call my parents and I'd be like, everyone should be learning these things, not just business students, because these are things that everybody, at some point in their life needs to know how to do. And so I just every time I learned something new in the class, I was just so excited about it and would take time to really think about it. This summer after the class, I invested in stock for the first time. And so that was really exciting for me. I was kind of taking what I had learned in the class and actually putting it into practice. And it's just been really cool to see how all the things that I learned in this class relate to my own personal life, my own personal finances, but also how they relate now to my concentration into finance in the corporate setting. So it's just been a really great balance of just learning things that are so applicable to, who I am and who I, will be, and then also into my career in general.
Any other favorite classes out there?
I'll do one more. I mentioned Business 392, the Java class, which was definitely a favorite. Following that, I took Business 393, which was database systems of business, and I think that's probably one of my most memorable favorite. Because I really like the Professor Erickson, and I also learned SQL, structured query language, which for what I'm doing and what I hope to do with my career, that is the most useful thing I think I've learned. I'm able to bring that up so much and actually apply and demonstrate that I know how to do that. And that definitely sets me apart, I feel like, as a candidate. So definitely the most useful skill, like tangible like skill I've learned in a classroom is how to use SQL.
Excellent, Max.
I think just to chime in on some like super applicable classes, my first quarter at Cal Poly, I was able to take business law with Professor Carr. And this is known as kind of a rite of passage class as well, like Zoe mentioned with Professor Gorman. And this class was just totally exactly what I wanted as soon as I came to Cal Poly. It was in our big lecture hall, which is approximately 200 students, but I always sat in the first 2 or 3 rows. So it felt like a 30-person class. And there were a lot of real world examples that he would give us, especially because he's still practicing as a lawyer himself. So we were able to kind of hear about his past cases, as well as within his office hours. Even though it was such a large class, he was still very available for students. And so I got to feel like I knew him on a personal level. And so that even in that big lecture hall, it still felt like he was addressing me as a student rather than just everyone in the class. And that really gave me a personal connection with a professor that I didn't expect to have from such a large class.
Yeah, and I think it really make a point to make what we do applicable to the experiences, but also as you've talked about some of these activities, it's part of your story, it's your narrative. And so when you go out, it's part of who you are and the stories you tell. I mean, I've had students in accounting talk about the focus groups, for instance, they've run, and then, you know, the person on the other side of the table is like, well, that's interesting. Tell me more about this, you know? So, I mean, it helps to differentiate yourself. It helps to make you unique and to give that story. That overall part of your brand of who you are and what Cal Poly has prepared you for. Well, let's see. Any other, have we answered all of our questions from the Q&A? It looks like it's a multitasking kind of experience, but any parting thoughts or final words or that you all want to share as a student? You know, thinking about our audience, which are making decisions, thinking about what the collegiate life might lead to. I see lots of smiles on my end.
I could say something. I'm trying to think back. You know, it's been a while, placing myself kind of back into perhaps your audience's shoes and kind of where you're at. I think the biggest advice I can take you, and something I wish I could tell myself, was to take risks, take a leap. The second you get out of what's comfortable to you and you kind of escape the microcosm of your day-to-day life and your mind, that's when you really grow as a person. Change is supposed to be difficult, and change is supposed to be a little tumultuous sometimes, but the result of it, I believe, with the right attitude, is always positive. So kind of embrace the change, and wherever you end up, I hope that you kind of take it with that attitude, and I think you can't go wrong.
Excellent. So we do have a question in the Q&A. It's like, you know, for the students, what's the one thing you wish you knew coming into campus?
I can go ahead and take that one. For me personally, I wish I knew how to ask for help and how to take advantage of the resources that we have on campus. As a freshman, it can be intimidating. I remember, especially as an out-of-state student, it is a lot of change at once. So after becoming an ambassador and learning about all of the resources that we have, just as a freshman, I would really encourage all of you, if you come to Cal Poly, to take advantage of those and to really look for support if you need it, because there definitely are avenues where you can get that support academically, personally, and professionally. So.
I can give an answer to that too if you want. I think that coming into Cal Poly, I would have loved to like take more risks and get involved in something that I didn't like necessarily do in high school. I think I kind of played it safe and, you know, just said, oh, I'm going to do the things that, I felt comfortable doing when, at home and things like that. And looking back, if I could do it over again, I would have, I don't know, got involved in the sailing team or done something cool like that would have like completely pushed me out of my comfort level. And like, if I hadn't liked it, like, that's okay. I would have learned from it, and maybe I would have met some cool people and made a couple friends, even if I didn't continue sailing or whatever it might have been. But I think that if I could go back, that's one thing that I would have changed. And one thing that I encourage you all to do is to try something that you've never thought you would try before. SLO is definitely a place where you can kind of be whoever you want to be, and you can really create yourself and take time to be outside. I don't know if you see my virtual background. It's one of the most beautiful places in the world. We're so lucky to be 15 minutes from the beach, and we have all of these beautiful peaks surrounding us that you can go and hike and just enjoy the scenery. And so it's easy to get caught in your classes and to get caught in what you do, but it's also so nice to be able to take those breaks and to, enjoy nature and enjoy the place that you live in. So those are just a couple of my 2 cents.
And it is a beautiful place. It is a wonderful 4-year experience, and we're proud of our graduation rate. And our students go on to live very successful lives. And I just recall as a student the kind of experiences, and I can't agree more, to get out there and try things and do things. And they abound here at Cal Poly. I've really been surprised at all that we offer. So. I'd like to thank our panelists, Jamie, Zoe, Max, and also, of course, our presenters, Miriam and Ronan. I do believe we have a video epilogue for you as well, but we do appreciate this opportunity, and there are resources available for you. So we hope that if we didn't answer any questions for you now, that we'll be able to get those addressed later. So thank you all very much. It's been a pleasure for all of us.
Hi, I'm Terrence Harris, and I'm our Assistant Vice Provost for Admissions and Enrollment Development. I want to thank you for taking time to get to know more about Cal Poly. This place has great significance to me. I received both my undergraduate and graduate degrees here. I met my wife here, and my parents are alumni. I am proud to be a part of the Mustang family, and I'm excited about the prospect of you joining us. I want you to know that as a community, we are determined to cultivate an environment that is welcoming to everyone. Every individual brings with them their own unique qualities and values that add to the richness of our campus. Regardless of who you are, where you're from, or what your background is, we want you to know that you have a place here. So, what's next? Well, I'm standing here in front of the admissions office, where our team would typically be located, ready to help guide you through the application and admissions process. We're all working virtually right now, but our services remain available. Our team is eager to help you out, so we hope you apply. The application opened on October 1st, so visit Cal State Apply to start your application today. We want you to know that we are here to help you. Visit our admissions website to learn more information about the application process or to learn about our upcoming webinar series. And don't forget to check us out on social media. I know that the decision about your educational future is a huge decision, but I also want you to know that you've come to the right place. So, I wish you and your family the best of luck as you continue through the rest of this academic year. Go Mustangs!